Hello, my beautiful twin flames. Long time no hear, right? Guys, I got so much information to share, and I'm gonna go without further ado. I'm just gonna hit you with so much information that I can't do any intro talk like usual. First of all, where do I start? So before my previous video was about me planning to make a transition and travel across the world in the middle of all this thing and travel across the world from US to Europe, and I only relied on raw pure faith. There was nothing else pointing out that I can make it. Nothing. Everything, like they say, all the odds were against it. The only thing, though, that I was relying on was signs from God. Should I go? Should I not go? Last night, before, because the airlines changed my tickets so many times, they called me. They would cancel my parts of my flights. This flight is canceled. This one is canceled. What do you want to do? They offered me million times to. Well, it's expression, not million times, but many times they offered me to give me refund, but beware of those refunds. Beware of them, because when they offer you refund, for example, I'm gonna give you factual numbers. My ticket was $1,200. It was return ticket to Europe, and so they couldn't just cancel it. And now they do, like, sort of give you relief for not being able to travel. So I was adamant, like, no, 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 it's my refund. It was my return flight. That's how I booked it. So I was like, no, it's the second part of. I already completed one part of my flight when I got to United States. So I told him it's my return flight. I don't want to cancel it. I was pushing through changes, like, change it, just change it. And so the ticket was $1,200 total, and when they offered me refund, they only offered about 600 back. See, the thing is, they offer you the principal back, just the ticket, but they keep all the taxes, and those taxes are stupid and incredible already. They're like taxes for each airport, September 11 tax that doesn't make any sense at all to me still. All kinds of creepy taxes. So taxes alone were $600. So when they offer you refund, it's shady. They just offer you just the just the route number, like the number, the price of the ticket itself, not the taxes. So they would give me just half money back, and I was like, that's how you make money. You don't travel people, you don't transport people, you don't feed them on the planes, you don't put the gas in the, I mean, the, you know, the fuel in the plane, and then you don't return money back in full. You keep the taxes. So as I like to say to people when they play with my mind, I'm sorry, but I don't like to be screwed unless I'm enjoying it myself too. Uh, sorry, it's one of my jokes. So yeah, I didn't want to get screwed, and I really wanted to uh, prove against all odds that I can manifest this trip. And I was scared as hell. I was scared as hell, people. So don't think of me as someone super brave, adventurous, or something. I'm just a regular Jane, and I was scared as hell. But first of all, I faced that fear. And second of all, I faced that faith into that faith in manifesting that we all talk about, and law of attraction, and I wanted to face it and see, is it just a talk, or can I walk the walk? Can I really push that far when all the odds are against? to still manifest something? Let's see what we've learned so far. So I was like, let's see what you have learned so far. Can you, this is your final test. Can you make it even though, like totally like fake it till you make it, right? So I last night before my trip, I was still kind of, you know, doubting a little bit and wondering, should I go, should I stay? And then I was on the gas station with my mom, and the car parked behind me, and it was that little Fiat little baby car, yeah. And I thought at first I thought it was a smart, one of those smart cars, little smart cars. Then I figured out it was a Fiat, and that was, oh, I have goosebumps right now. And that was the first car that my father had in Europe when I was a child. And those are really rare to see in my state in United States. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is a sign. This is like, go back to your home place, to your childhood town. Go back. It's gonna manifest, because that car was just like ta-da, this car, it was my first childhood memory, that car. And now of course it's a new model, but it's the same make. And that was like, so I'm just trying to tell you how these signs work. It could be a little thing, but it means something to you, it's symbolic to you. It just hits you in the face, like, oh my gosh, that's a sign. So that's how you recognize the signs. For me, it was a little Fiat car. And one last thing that was that could have prevented me was, you gotta be considerate of other people. You gotta think of everybody's perspective. So I sat down with my parents and I said, if you're gonna have some kind of heart attacks, or if you're gonna be worried constantly, of course you're gonna be slightly worried, and for me, as I am pushing through different airports and everything. But if you're gonna be super worried, then I'm not gonna go. Just tell me right now. If I arrive to Europe and you guys, one of you have heart attack over it, then I'm not going, because you're more important to me than anything in the world. Even though we are not perfect family, we are not perfect people, we fight. All my life was not physical fight, thank God, but verbal, stuff. Typical dysfunctional family, but I love them to death. So I told them, mom and dad, if you're gonna cry and get worried because you're already older, then I will just give up on all these dreams. But my dad said, I don't know. I don't think you should go. You should change for next year. And I said, look, Dad, you always finished everything you started. He's a workaholic. That was one of the reasons my family was dysfunctional. So it doesn't always have to be bad things that people do that can make things screwed. He was not a alcoholic. He was not addicted to drugs or gambling, but he was workaholic all his life, and that can be addiction too. So that's just to tell you, like, that people must find moderation in everything. Everything should be moderate, even work. Or on the other hand, relaxation. You cannot relax all the time. You have to work sometimes. On the other hand, you have to find time for your family and friends. So try to be moderate in life. Uh, try to find a little bit of time for everything. Don't overdo one thing and then disregard the other thing. So, anyways, but in a good way, my father, as being workaholic and perfectionist in his work, at the same time, I appreciate the aspect of his work that he always finished what he started. If he had a project or he promised someone the due date for the construction project, he would always keep his word. So I told him, Dad, I started something in Europe. I started remodeling that house. I started relationships over there. I started something that I cannot just leave unfinished right now and sit here at home jobless, waiting for my work to come back, waiting for things to get better, uh, having anxiety and post-traumatic stress syndrome being flared up with all the situation in the United States. And this is not helping my mental health. This is not helping anything. So this is a hard trip, and it's probably a dangerous trip, but I'm gonna push through. And what about faith in God? What about trusting that someone up there, someone everywhere, someone who is inside of us, someone who is around us, is protecting me and is gonna help me make this trip? And then when I said that, my dad was like, "Actually, I think your words are true, and I think that yes, God will protect you. I'm gonna trust God, and you should not worry about us. We will be brave, and we will be cool. We will be okay. We'll be cool." And my mom was super strong. She was super strong. She was like, actually, my mom, who was always overprotective all my life and caused many trouble to our relationship, that she was overprotective, control freak, controlling parent. She has changed so much over the years, and I blame, under quotation marks, I blame Islam for that. She started reading the Quran, she started praying, and at the old age, and she's changed from aggressive woman, from over controlling woman, to someone who is understanding, who is trying to change herself for better. And she was super supportive. She was like, "No, no, you go, you can make it. You're strong like me. You're my daughter. You're my blood. You can make it." And she was like, she was my greatest support. God bless her. Oh, I can't. I'm having goosebumps. So I boarded my first plane. I was scared to death, and I kept doing the affirmations. I kept doing the affirmations that I recently learned from Deepak Chopra. Deepak, if anybody ever shares this video with you, love. I'm sending you my love, man. You, your daughter, you guys are amazing people. I recently watched your daughter's videos first time. Seriously, I discovered Priyanka just recently. She is my role model since 2020. And then I read Deepak's book called fulfillment of fulfillment of desire, or is it, no, spontaneous fulfillment of desire. Amazing book, guys, you should read it. So I transcripted the affirmations or mantras from that book. Oh my gosh, and they're helping me great time now. And I combined them with the duas from the Quran. Yeah, so there's nothing wrong in combining different spiritual paths into one that fits your needs. If you have a Gucci shirt and a Versace skirt that go nice together, wear them together. And I'm not saying these brands because I'm a person who cares about brands. It's just to give you, just give you idea, put something together if it works great together. And so I did the mantras, I did the prayers during the trip, and amazing miracles happened. And also I want to say this to you: don't trust the news. Also, what helped me before the trip was yeah, this photo you see on the screen now, that's in the Munich airport, and that's the smoking room. I was like, I recently started smoking again, and I was going crazy, stress and everything, and scared, and I couldn't smoke in the San Francisco airport. And they should have area for smokers. I'm not promoting smoking, but for those who are smoking, it's important that they are not under stress. They can have a cigarette, light it up, and relax a little bit. So Munich airport, kudos for you guys. That's amazing. They also have baby changing rooms, baby nursing rooms. Amazing airport. Munich airport is amazing. And yeah, so back to what I was saying is, I didn't watch the news before my trip for a month. I even thought I was crazy. Like, you gotta watch the news if you're gonna travel. You gotta know what's going on. But I said to myself, no, manifesting doesn't work that way. You have to ignore the news, because they're they're seemingly the reality, yes, but I can change that reality. And if I'm watching it, and if I'm being constantly bombarded by negative news, how I'm just a human. I'm gonna bend under the pressure. I'm not gonna be able to manifest. So I'm like, if I know it's kind of a little bit irresponsible not to know what's going on, but that's the only way I can manifest positive results is to totally ignore it. So every time my mom would say, "Oh, they've just changed the restrictions to this. Oh, they've just changed on that border like that." I was like, "Mom, don't tell me. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Don't share that information with me. It could change another 24 hours, it could change to a positive thing again. So just don't mess with my head right now. I don't want to know. By the time it's my flight date, things gonna get better. They will get better. And actually, not that they got better, but I pushed through, as they say, through needle eye, because I arrived in Europe to my final destination on 29th of June, and they've actually hardened the restrictions on the 1st of July. So I just made it barely. Like if I was just postponing my trip any longer, they wouldn't let me through. Okay, so that was amazing. So without doubt, I made a leap of faith. But I gotta say something. I also did a few phone calls to the border crossings. I did send a couple of emails to each of the airports, to their police at the airports, to the even director of the airport, to speak to them directly about my specific situation and how I'm traveling and why and blah blah. And so, I followed that wisdom of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who said, "Tie your camel and let the God watch it." Then, so you got to do your part, whatever intellectual part, physical part. You do your work, and then let God take over. So I wasn't just sitting idly and not preparing for my trip. I made a few phone calls, like I said. I picked up some information regarding, like, technical information regarding border crossings and the airports and how to pack for my trip. But I didn't watch the news, not media information, but the actual direct information from the direct sources, from the airports, from the airlines, from border crossings, from local police, from federal police. And I gathered that information. I also gave them my information and asked them for confirmation that it's going to be okay. And I traveled. with those letters of recommendations, and that helped a great deal too. Of course, none of that would happen if the God wasn't on my side. So combine God and your own physical knowledge that God gave you, and you should be fine with fulfilling your desires. And always affirmations, affirmations, affirmations. If you are tired of doing affirmations out loud or in your head, then just go to YouTube and type in whatever topic of affirmations you're looking for, and just type the word subliminal and listen to the subliminal affirmations. They're usually covered with music, and don't be scared of those. They're just made by good people who put them on for free, and they're really like angels on earth. Some of them are really great, that they put effort and time into that. So listen to those and see how that works for you. That's what I do before I go to sleep. I'm too lazy sometimes for affirmations and mantras. Like I said, I like these from Chopra, but usually I'm lazy for long meditations and stuff. Sometimes I do guided meditations, whatever. So you guys, so the thing is, I did every step with, of course, that combination of fear and affirmations. Every step was like, okay, I made it this far. Will I make the next step? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. And then amazing thing happened on the final flight. that I took from San Francisco to, no, I'm sorry, from yeah, well, actually there were two flights with me, San Francisco to Munich and Munich to Dubrovnik. There were two flights that I had met a young girl, 11, 10, 10, almost 11 years old, that I gotta tell you, angels can come in all kinds of forms and shapes. She was of the same ancestry as me, traveling back to her grandmother to the seashore with her mom and dad and younger sister and younger brother. Beautiful, beautiful family. Just another proof that there is twin flames that form families. I watched her parents, just perfect twin flames, the way they communicate with no words, with eyes and just gestures, how they handle their kids, who are just amazing bundle of energy and light. I've never seen kids like that, like those, like kids that are very active but not in an annoying way, just like in a fun way. So they cheered me up constantly during those two flights. Well, what this little girl did was, besides being super amazingly smart, and besides talking to me like I was talking to a wise old woman, she said something. She asked me, goosebumps again, will you make it to Dubrovnik airport with us, with me? She said, will you go with me to Dubrovnik? And I said, ooh, I sure hope so, because I was afraid, will they accept my travel documents, because they had documents for Croatia, and I was just still transiting through Croatia going further. So I was a little bit scared, and I said, I sure hope so. And then she said the most amazing thing that confirms that the law of attraction manifestation techniques must be firm and decisive when we say them. And you wouldn't expect this from a 10, 11 years old child who doesn't probably know anything about law of attraction, but she's born in this awakened state, a pure crystal child. And she said, no, don't say I hope so. Instead say I will make it with you to the Browning airport. And then she said, repeat after me. And I said, okay, Antonia. Her name is Antonia. I said, okay, Antonia, I will make it to the Dubrovnik airport with you. And that just filled me up with so much good, high vibrational energy, that I was like, yes, yes, I will make it with Antonia to the Dubrovnik airport. And I did. And then next part of the trip was still hard, because I was supposed to have a transfer ride. That's how they led me through the airport, by having a driver wait for me outside of the airport that will give me a transfer straight into the next country. Yeah, this is Antonia on the screen. Wow, she was an amazing kid. And so this is Dubrovnik. This is, you see on the screen, this is Dubrovnik when my transfer driver picked me up. His name is Christian, and I thank him. And also, there were signs when I was booking my accommodations, which I had to cancel in Croatia because I couldn't stay more than 24 hours in Croatia. I had to go just as a transfer. So the lady that I booked my room with, her name was Christina. The lady that booked my ticket, changed my ticket with United Airlines, her name was Christine, and my driver's name was Christian. So even though I'm a Muslim, still I consider myself to be basically Muslim, but also everything else, or nothing at all, just being me. These names just gave me hope, because even as a Muslims love Christ, they love Jesus, they love Isa alayhi salam, sallallahu salam. So I was like, this is a sign from God. Just trust, like Christ trusted in his creator and had no doubt ever, and his faith was unshakable. So yeah, so these are photos that I first took of the sky in Dubrovnik, just beautiful hot day. And anyways, my driver Christian, he said, I cannot enter the country of your destination because I will have trouble entering back into my own country. So all I can do is drive you to the borderline. And actually, he told me that 2 nights before my trip. I'm grateful for that. So what I did, I arranged for some of my family, like basically distant family members who I have in Europe, to come and pick me up at the border crossing. And so I basically walked across the borderline with the heavy bags and everything. It was such an adventure, just like in movies. It was such adventure. This guy Christian, he pushed my bags from one side of the border, and my relatives, they were not allowed to cross the border, but they were waiting for the bags. So I pulled these two heavy bags across the border, and one that was when I was exiting Croatia, she was nice. The border crossing lady, she said, "You're fine. You can go. I cannot prevent you from going home." And God bless her. And then I got confused because she said, "It's okay, you can just go." And then I just pushed my bags, and the guy who was on the next uh, cabin border crossing guard, he yelled at me. He said, "Where do you think you were going?" And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Let me show you my documents. I'm so confused." It was super hot and sunny day. Temperature was high. I was so tired. I didn't sleep for over 30 hours on my flight. I couldn't sleep with the mask on. And I said, "I'm sorry, let me show you my documents." And I said, I, I am just going home. Please, just let me go home." And he looked at my documents and he smiled at me. I made him laugh. He seemed like a tough, strong guard. He was scary. And that was my last step of the crossing border and finally making home. I'm sorry, guys, I'm crying. It's so much emotions. And he said, looked at my documents, looked at me. He just started laughing and he said, "Oh," and he said my name and he said, "Go home, child. Go home. If you're so brave, you made it across the globe. Go home. Welcome home." And I crossed the border, and my cousins were waiting for me, and uh, there was another guard standing next to them, and he said, "Where do you think you're going with those bags? What are you? Are you smuggling something?" And I said, "Man, it's just my clothes and my panties. I'm not smuggling. Take those damn bags. I just want to go home." I thought he was serious. But as a matter of fact, he was just admiring my strength and courage, and it was a joke. I forgot how people joke over here in my old country. That's so crazy. They all like stand-up comedians. So he said, "No, no, I'm just joking because we shouldn't be smuggling pretty ladies like you from Croatia to Bosnia." And I was like, "Oh man, don't joke with me. I'm too tired for jokes right now. Thank you." And he shook my hand. He says, "Welcome home." So my relatives came, and I sat in the car, and I was super tired, but I was too excited to sleep, and finally arrived to capital and got some rest and stayed at their place for days, and went to the spa, to the swimming pools. I had amazing time, and I'm gonna share with you what happened next, what happened with twin flame channelers, what happened, what's new on a twin flame journey. But I just wanted to make this video for now, for today. So I basically arrived. I first sat down and fell asleep on July 1st. Yeah, so I'm sorry it took me so long to make a video, but I want things to develop and happen, and to process everything, and have things happen regarding twin flame journey. And I promise I'm gonna make videos hopefully soon about that, but I just can't put everything in one video for your own sake, because it's too much information. So I'll continue about the topic of twin flame in the next video. Just wanted to give you hope and strength for whatever is on your mind, whatever is your plan. Don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. You guys can make it. You can make it. Whatever is on your mind, God is on your side, and just have faith, and don't give up. be careful, but also be brave. And when I arrived in Europe, this amazing thing happened. I gotta share this with you guys. This is the most amazing thing. Before I crossed the border, like I said, my driver Christian said he cannot make it. And so I said, like, let's just have a cup of coffee in Dubrovnik, please. Can I have a break? And then you can drive me across the border. He's like, sure, no problem. And So we descended the steps down to the main square in Dubrovnik. For those of you who are not familiar with Dubrovnik, it's a place where they filmed King's Landing for the TV show called Game of Thrones. So super tired from my flights. We arrived down on the main square. The waiter came over and we barely ordered the coffee, and then out of the city gates, a procession of people came and waving Croatian flag, and they just stopped by the church, which was right next to our coffee shop, and singing traditional troubadour. The singers in Croatia are called troubadours, traditional singers. They were singing troubadour song of love, and it was a wedding procession. Beautiful, handsome, beautiful people, beautiful bride, beautiful groom. I was thinking that I was dreaming. I was thinking that I just landed in heaven. People walking without masks, everything normal, everything perfect, and that was just a moment of victory. And that was my greatest sign of all. The driver Christian could not believe it. He was laughing. He's like, "This is a welcoming party for you. This is amazing. This is incredible." He couldn't believe his eyes. And I recorded those moments, and then the entire wedding procession sat down, surrounded us, sat down on the chairs around us, and sang love song. And I wanna put this on this video so I can share it with you guys. In love, in hope, and in light, I'm now sending you my hugs and kisses. Enjoy these moments, the way God greeted me into King's Landing in Croatia, in Dubrovnik, how I was greeted. But this is ultimate sign of God. I was laughing, I was smiling, and being so tired, it just gave me my energy back to continue to the border and cross it and finally arrive to my homeland. So watch this, and I love you guys. I'll talk to you next time.